Well then, looks like I am going live. Alright, let me just do this, do that. There we go. And we are now live. Let me switch to gameplay, all that. There. There's a creeper. Ah,
What's up?
nothing much. Streaming's really getting to my computer.
That's the farm. Oh, you have to outline the whole entire. Wait, is it done?
What?
The farm.
No, it's nowhere near done. The
You just have to
glass was only a part of it.
Oh,
Nothing down here. Honestly, I wish it was that easy, but it's not. Seriously, is there anything left in this place? Nope. No, wait, maybe? There could be. Possibly. What the heck is this? Okay. Most of my followers came from me playing SCPSL. I gained the most followers, or viewers even,
what's up,
when I
JC?
play, what's it called, play Minecraft.
Hi, Ben.
Do that again, and I am not going to unmute you next time.
Do that again, and he will pee on you.
Olympic
Okay.
diver, yes.
Okay.
You signed me up
Hi.
for the Olympics.
Who said that?
He will drown you personally in a pool of pee.
By the way, how are you doing, Ben?
Doing fine.
doing
You
good,
might
thank
want to
you.
move back from your mic a little.
Yeah, or else.
I'm on my phone, so this is the normal voice.
Oh, well.
He just
Well then.
dips.
So yeah, I can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
Unless I...
Alright, I need to get the heck out of here quickly.
And that's why you don't use arc weapons.
Is this better?
There we go.
Is this better, Ben?
Yes, that's a lot better.
How about this?
That still sounds okay. I don't know why you're asking me.
Okay.
Okay, he has thorn. Not messing with that. No. Okay.
What are you doing, like, Minecraft Bed Wars or something?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I'm playing Destiny, but there's a weapon called Thorn, and it's like a hand cannon. Like if it shoots you, you get like burn damage. So like yeah.
Alright, let's see.
Same guy.
I'm on vacation in Iowa right now. Oh, nice. Well, enjoy your vacation, friend. There's a guardian. It must die. Man, flame...
I'm
No,
back.
not flame. Fire aspect isn't that great underwater.
Yeah, it's useless.
What about water expect? You hit them and they drown.
Very
That's
uninterested in the vacation, and I'm bummed out, and I just feel tired. Oh, that sucks. What? Glass destroys sand, any falling blocks?
No, I think that's your brain.
Yeah. Your brain sucks, is what he's trying to say.
No, you.
No, don't talk to me. I'm
I'm talking to both of you right now.
Oh my god. Oh, what in the world did I just... Ben, I
What?
did something.
What did I do?
No, I did something. I
What
don't know
did you
how to
do?
reverse something really bad.
Oh boy.
Wait, is he in the NPM server?
Yeah,
Nope.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you think I would trust
I,
him?
Yeah.
Even if I had Xbox Live or something, Bedrock at least, uh, he wouldn't invite me at all. Not even the single most
I don't even
bit.
trust him in the Stargate. But yet he's still in there, so
Yes,
kind of screwed. Kind of screwed on that part.
but here's the thing, Ben. We haven't played Entry Point in a while, haven't we?
No.
So we should start playing again
Yeah, but I'm playing Minecraft right now, so that's a lot more fun.
tomorrow. So do you wanna play tomorrow?
Maybe.
Then?
Explain what you're doing with the sand that you're placing.
I'm trying to remove all of the water.
What? Huh?
And I forgot a bucket, so...
Good job.
And the tutorial told me that Guardians can't. We still need to test out if I'm able to join on iPad. You mean Xbox. Yeah, you should be able to. I mean, this is Minecraft Bedrock, so...
How old is Vincent's sister?
Mm,
At like 9, I think. Not
Because
100%
Iker
sure.
kept killing.
Yeah, I
Iker
know.
kept.
I've been told that 100 times now. Alright. Ugh. Okay, seriously, why is my CPU usage so high? It shouldn't be as high as it is. Everything should
Have
be
you
running off
restarted
of
your
my
computer?
GPU. Alright, hold on.
what's wrong with your GPU, Ben? What did you
Nothing.
do?
I just want to know why it's not running off of it, and why everything's running off of my CPU and not my GPU. All right, let's see.
Did you get any more followers?
That makes
yet?
sense. Oh yeah, did you get any new followers, Ben?
2 last night.
Not
Last
even right
month?
now.
No, I haven't gotten any new ones yet.
Wait, I don't think I ever followed you. Twitch.
That's a rip. So let me check right now. I want to
And
check.
224.
Let's see. CPU usage percent. Higher equals less CPU. I kind of
Okay, I'm
wish I was
checking
at
Ben.
home so I could develop my Roblox games and or play Xbox.
Oh, he is right. Ben
Medium.
is right.
What if I set it to medium? How
What?
high would it go then?
So Ben was right. He got 2 new followers.
Yes. I always get an email from Twitch whenever I get new followers, so...
Because
Uh,
that's what low follower people do. Especially like
Yeah, well,
Instagram.
at least I have more followers than you do.
No, on Instagram, no.
Oh, on Instagram? I don't really care about Instagram, so...
Instagram is real life.
Yeah, that's not my forte.
so
Real life
we
isn't your
are
forte.
Ben.
Hmm?
We're 5 more followers away. So
How are you gliding that far?
So when we get to 100 followers, what do you think we're gonna do? I know about the face cam and the Q&A, but what are we gonna do?
What gun?
That's about it.
There's the stream, and that's it.
There's a stream,
Wait,
yep.
are you gonna do face cam every time after you get 100 followers?
Yep, face cam happens every stream after that.
Bruh, I wonder what you look like. Are you black?
You wish.
Interesting answer.
No, I'm much worse than black. I'm white.
I thought you were gonna say Asian.
No, no, I'm even worse. I'm an attack helicopter.
That's a new species.
Do you not remember the that joke?
Yep.
Okay, this
Well,
why
am-
lag, why?
I just got hit with lag too.
Let's just sleep it
Well, what
off.
type of PC do you have?
PC?
Yeah.
Homemade.
Oh, men?
It has a GeForce GTX 1050.
What's your RAM?
RAM, no idea. I don't check that much.
You don't check your RAM?
No, I can't remember. Currently, I'm
Then you
after
should check-
the RTX 1080 Ti.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, I'm after the
Obsidian, a
RTX
diamond?
1080 Ti2 for A, B, C, D, E, F,
You
G.
said a diamond?
Yeah, I found a diamond in a chest.
In a village.
I'm going to rest my eyes. I'm a mailman. All right, well, you go rest now, friend.
Wait,
Thanks
you
for
use a mailman?
popping in.
Mailmans
he's
are
the
like the
mailman.
best job. Mailmen are like the best job, I should say. Because you
Yeah.
get to like ride your bike.
That was
Well, you
before
know-
we had vans, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, but you still get to ride your bike if you want to.
Can't ride your
Or
bike
if-
where
if
you
you're
can't ride your
underage.
bike up here.
Why?
That's why we have something called an airplane.
Wait, why can you not ride your bike?
Because you wouldn't even make it a mile.
Why?
I'm surprised you haven't guessed why.
Borders.
That's no, no, not borders.
Wait, you live in Mexico?
You wish.
Yes. He does.
That's cool.
Nah. I live in a place with lots of hills. And by hills, I mean ones that are about 14,000 feet tall.
Oh, is
The
that
Himalayas.
Nevada?
Is that I think you're getting a
that-
little further away.
Is that Colorado?
You're getting closer. I'm just
Hawaii.
not going to tell you what state whatsoever.
Because you can hack your social security number if you know your state, right?
No, I just don't want people finding my house.
How can you...
You'd be surprised, friend, on how easily people can find each other. Like, I've got one of my friends. He posted a video on his Instagram, and
A video?
after like 10 minutes of research, I found out where he lived. Thankfully, I knew him, and thankfully we were neighbors at one point, and he had to move away, so he clearly wasn't too worried about it.
Wait a minute. By any chance is the Utah?
You know what?
No.
I'm just going to let you continue guessing until you just run out of ideas.
Wyoming. You said it's near Colorado. So yeah.
What if I just lived in Canada?
Mm. So it's Montana? Eh? Eh?
I'm just not going to reply anymore and hope you just don't ask any more questions.
I'm gonna join.
You're going to join? Alright.
I got bored of my new gun, so...
Oh, I figured it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I dare you to leak his home address.
Okay, hold on.
How
I'm
do you
gonna try
follow
finding
people
it.
on Twitch?
There's something called the follow
Press
button.
follow. Yep.
Alright,
Okay. Oh, I found him.
Oh, really?
Some bit.
Yes. Yes.
Well, if you found me, I would know. I need more sponge!
Oh, I see.
So you said you're in the
Oh,
mountain
ooh.
time zone, right?
Ah, yes, you followed. You finally found the button, huh?
So you
Mhm.
said you're in the mountain time zone, right?
Yes.
I know which one.
Oh,
I know where
really?
you are now.
Oh, really? But do you?
No.
I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Daho.
Alright, what? Do I seriously not have
It's
any
just
other
this.
sponge? I need more sponge.
I just guessed a state and you're talking about sponges.
Yes,
You have
because I
95
need to
followers
get to
still.
empty that area. Okay, that's one sponge down.
Oh. Oh, he's in New Mexico.
Seriously, I don't have any more? That's annoying. What do I need?
One time,
That's right, I
I
came
died.
here for a bucket.
Wait,
One
no,
time you
wait
died?
for me. I
Wow.
wanna go. I wanna go on an adventure.
I'm not going on really any adventures. I'm just
Yeah, you are.
emptying the water out of that area.
Okay.
So, Ben,
Mm-hmm.
you just said you live in Canada.
Well, but do I? I'm not telling you much of anything right now. I could live in Canada. I could live in the U.S. Heck, I could live in
Montana.
Mexico for all
Canada
you
isn't
know.
real.
Montana. Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say that. Montana. Give me
Alabama.
a reply.
Where?
Wait, hold on. Alabama, where is Alabama? It's
I wonder how long you guys are going to be guessing where I live.
yeah, I think I broke my phone now.
I just glitched a stone brick.
Place it. Good.
Never mind, it's gone.
Alright, more fireworks. Perfect. Oh, I'm gonna go back over to that area. Wait a second, I need more, I think I need obsidian. I'll take it when I need it. Oh, I am running low on rockets. That is not good. And I know I'm
That
gonna regret
noob.
saying this, but I haven't died in some time now.
Oh yeah, it's time for you to die.
Haha, but you'll never find me.
You live in Alabama.
Well, why is
He's
there a
in
phantom after me? I slept.
You slept with your mom.
Which time zone am I in? Haha, I no longer tell.
mountain. He's in mountain.
But was I telling the truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
The messages you sent me. Remember you told me you're 1 hour ahead then?
Yeah, but what if I was what if I was telling a lie? What if I'm actually in Eastern and I'm just giving you false times? Who knows? Maybe I'm Central or heck, even Pacific. Or I
Or
could just
heck.
live on the entire other side of the world. For all you know.
He can be living in Russia.
He's
Oh
Lebanon.
gosh, where are my frames?
in you.
I'm getting like 10 FPS. What is going on? Okay, my
Good.
I
So you're in Nebraska.
think my computer is killing itself.
Yes, it's called self-destructing.
Gonna guess you live on Earth. Final answer. Oh, close, but not quite.
I mean, yeah.
I'm actually on Mars.
I'm guessing Nebraska you live.
Alright, I need to open up my task manager to see what's using up the most CPU.
What?
Okay.
Why
you
is
have-
Minecraft using
I am-
up my
I'm-
CPU?
I'm
Dude,
forcing Ben. I'm forcing you to give me 500 diamonds because I'm giving you a phantom membrane.
No.
Yeah.
I don't buy phantom membranes anymore.
And
Okay, seriously, how do I switch it so that Minecraft doesn't run off all my
Have you
CPU?
restarted your
I'm
computer?
somewhere in Texas. I am literally.
Yeehaw!
Dude, I'm literally using Google Maps and I'm somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Texas.
Okay, nope, I
I don't
need
know where
that
I
open.
am.
Alright, hold on.
Mom, help. Ben.
Alien confirmed.
I wanna give you a tour of my house.
Okay, I've already looked through it.
Then what's the
Good
second level?
job.
What?
Does JC have Minecraft?
Yes,
Yes.
but
Why does he
I-
play? Oh no, cause he's not trusted.
no, he doesn't
No,
have
no, no.
Bedrock.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
have
I thought you
Bedrock.
said-
So. Yeah.
Dude, you're not funny.
I'm not saying that. Am
Dude.
I?
Stop. You're making me angry.
Ben, you might wanna def.
No, you.
Ben, you actually might wanna def.
Why?
You wanna be deaf?
Deafen me, Ben. Deafen me, Ben. You don't wanna hear it.
No, what's going on in that background of yours?
Good. Get ready.
You know what? He just ruined all of his chances. He is never being unmuted ever again in this chat for as long as I live.
But what if you die today?
I hope he's probably going to stay unmuted, muted because I'm not going to be able to unmute him. Alright, hold on. Alright, then prove you live on Mars. Oh wait, I already know you aren't due to the time between my message sending and your response. Takes several minutes for a message to be sent to Mars and back. You are false news. You know, I can do much more than mute you in the chat, JC.
You stopped streaming.
Did I?
Okay, never mind.
Okay, well, hold on. I need to check some. I need to figure out how to stop Minecraft from using up all of my CPU. Okay, why
I'm
did
gonna
it
go
stop?
make a lag machine to crash your computer.
You make a lag machine, I'm going to crash you. Alright,
Gay.
you wish. Okay,
Oh, that's true. I have a secret confession to make.
oh, it's not a
I
bang.
am not a boy.
You're going to become JC, aren't you? I mean, no, JC, you're going to become Rapol, aren't you? Where'd you go? Oh my gosh. I'm the only one watching, and that makes me feel special and a it just means you're the only one who actually cares about helping me out, so thank you. Oh my gosh. Am I going to have to mute 2 people tonight?
I'm a monkey. Ooh ooh ah ah.
Okay.
Eeker's still in the call.
Should I just do him a favor and disconnect him? Can't wait to turn this into a best moments compilation.
I mean, turn what into a best moment compilation? You doing the thing or? Or
No, you got you making all these weird sounds and JC destroying everybody's ears with his microphone.
nice.
How come I can't say heal? Heal all? What's that? I don't know what you're saying. What? Okay, okay,
Why did you like that?
Work it, make it, do it, makes us.
So how? HE double hockey sticks? Oh, it's because if it's not used as a place, it is considered cursing. At least in my household. I've been told that that's not true for every household.
What is?
Shush.
Wait, what is true?
Don't worry.
Why do I keep getting? Okay. Hush, little Ben, don't you cry. Mom's gonna give you a cherry pie.
I prefer pumpkin.
Mom's gonna give you pumpkin.
Seriously, why?
I think he's deciding whether he's gonna want to be in a call or not.
What? My only question right now is why my computer is killing itself over Minecraft.
I want to be a composer for Minecraft music when I grow up.
Alright. Well, they've already got C418 for that, so.
Wait, who's C418?
He's the one who made all the Minecraft music.
What if I kill him?
Yeah, you'll probably be arrested.
What if I am the chief of police?
You'll probably be you can, actually no, you'll probably still be fired and arrested.
What if I own the government? Huh?
You'll probably
Exactly.
be arrested.
No, but I own everything. What if I'm the king of England?
It'll be a very bad look for you, and well, you'd probably be arrested.
No, what if I can't? What if I'm immune to being arrested?
Nobody is.
No, I am.
But I'm no longer lonely. No, you are not. JC
Okay, I
is
made a
here.
lag machine. I'm just kidding.
I was starting to think I would have to ban you from the server.
2 minutes later, crashes.
Coincidence? I think so. Not.
Coincidence, I just said that.
He will still die of old age eventually, so
Who?
I don't know what he's talking about, honestly. I think it might have been one of our earlier conversations, but he hasn't realized we've moved on from that. Dealing with water is one of the most painful processes. Wish I had more sponges.
I can give you some.
You don't have sponges, I know that.
Yeah, I do.
Really, how'd you get them?
From the moon.
That is a mod, not actual Minecraft.
No, it is Minecraft, I swear. Hey, what if I just do X-ray right now?
If you do X-ray right now, you probably get banned. Actually, no, you will get banned.
What if I go to the moon and I do X-ray?
You can't go to the moon in Minecraft.
Yes, I can.
That is a mod.
Your mom's a mod. Oh.
Honestly, sometimes I wonder how you guys are so immature.
Sometimes I wonder why I don't have my third toe.
Okay, the heck is that? That's a weird glitch. Oh, why is this block missing? There.
I'm gay. Yes.
Lots of sand.
Your mom's lots of sand. I'm kidding. Don't get mad.
I haven't heard any new follows, so
I followed you.
I can't see any new besides you. I already knew you followed.
I have 3 stacks of cooked beef. I'll sell them for 3 diamonds.
I'm good, I've got carrots.
But beef takes less time to eat.
Doesn't take less time to eat.
Yes, it does. Because if you're at 4, then you only have to drink 1 or eat 1. But if you're at
Yes,
4,
carrots take more to get your hunger up, but
aka taking more time.
does it look like I care about that?
Yeah.
Next row.
My
Here
house
we
is
go.
better than. My house is the best in the whole entire NPM server. And that's a fact.
Nah, James thinks the actual James thinks his is pretty great. His unfinished house,
No, his sucks.
but you've never seen it.
Yeah, I have.
No, you haven't. I know that.
Yeah, I have it.
Do we really have to reference Star Wars?
Wait, did you know you can make a armor stand dance?
Yes. Not like I care that much about that though. So.
Yeah, you do. You're so jealous.
Do I sound jealous?
Yeah.
It's more sand. All right.
I'm gonna come to you because why not?
It's course. Ben, are you going to start a sugarcane farm? I already have a sugarcane farm. It's the best in the server. It's coarse and rough and irritating. It gets. Yep, there's the start. There's the reference. Either way, you gotta go. See ya. All right, see ya, JC. We should have a way to make infinite lava sources. Just because of the fact that we can make infinite water sources and also destroy water sources. But with lava, you can destroy lava sources. But you don't have a way of getting them back.
I see you.
But do you really?
I don't know.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Ow. You missed the spot. Okay, I'm going back now.
Alright, see ya.
Is there a height limit that you can die for? Like if you reach it and then you die.
No. You can go as high as you want and you won't die. It's just the fall damage will kill you.
But if you do a 360 before you land.
What if your elytra breaks and you don't have a water bucket or slime block on you or anything like that? Wow, my Twitch just bugged out super hard. Ooh.
I just dropped a firework.
Good job.
There's my house. See, all you have to do is 360. And then you take no fall damage.
I'm going to sleep now. I'm very tired. Alright, well, this is the second time you said you're going to sleep, so... Unless that was somebody
yeah,
else
make up
I'm
your
remembering.
mind, idiot.
Don't call them an
I'm
idiot.
calling. You sound like my teacher.
What if I am your teacher?
No, I don't have any male teachers.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed. There are very few male teachers at the schools I've been to.
There's no male teachers and no male babysitters. It's like sexist.
I feel like we're just bad at anything that has to do with children.
Not necessarily. What about Uncle Jim? You know who that is?
No.
You seriously don't know who Uncle Jim is.
Nope.
If you know what AG is?
What?
Like the course that you take in class to learn about, like the dirty.
Oh. Yep.
Oh, yeah. And then there's a video that you have to watch, and
Yeah.
it's called like Uncle Jim, and it's like about the guy who keeps on touching this little boy.
Yeah, still no idea.
Of course, because you're racist.
I don't see how that has anything to do with race, but okay.
What's your favorite race?
I don't have a favorite. All are stupid.
Well, my favorite race is the Indy 500.
As I said, all the races are stupid.
What about the 20-meter dash? That's a cool race.
Nah, that's still stupid.
Your mom's stupid. I'm kidding. Don't cry.
I've done 4 blocks of water. You can spam the chat all you want. It's not going to make me go to bed any quicker.
I'm looking at the mobs from outside through my bathroom window.
Okay.
PP. What's up?
Carrot.
Carrots are really big in Minecraft. And really, really fat.
Oh, I can't wait to get this Guardian farm finished.
How much does it cost?
Oh, now that I've got with the cost of the glass and now having to empty it of all of its water, it's going to cost quite a bit.
I didn't ask for the estimate.
Well, I don't have
What's up,
anything but an
James?
estimate.
Unmute James.
Maybe.
Why did you mute him in the first place?
Hey,
I
gotta
didn't
tell you
mute
guys
him.
something.
You just
I'm
get
gonna
muted
join.
whenever you join this channel.
Okay, well, I'm gonna join in a little bit, so yeah.
Oh,
What? I'm just playing Super
of
Mario.
course you're playing Super
Yeah, because I have the freedom right
Cause I have your hand.
now. Bruh.
Iker's online.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Okay,
he's
why
not
not?
actually.
Okay, well, at 8, I'll join. And that's like in. So yeah,
If you
I'll
look
join.
at my status on Discord, I dare
Yeah, I
you.
know. Okay, I'll see you guys at.
Oh. There he goes. This has to be extremely boring to watch, but I really
Yeah,
want
it
to
is.
get
You
this
should do
finished.
something else.
Well, I really want to get this finished so I can have infinite XP.
So we can have infinite XP.
Well, who
What's
knows?
the m- what's the-
What's not
What's the most you're willing to sell?
the most or the least?
The most.
I'm willing to go to for anybody to buy a pass to this place at for a most of, let's just say 2,000 diamonds. A minimum would have to be over 100, because this is harder to make than that iron farm and villager stuff.
2,000 diamonds. 2,000 divided by 64. That's 3 stacks. No, I did 200. 2,000. 31 stacks of diamonds. Let me even see if I can afford that. In Battle Royale. Oh no, doggies.
Alright,
Die, Phantom. Die, Phantom.
okay, where's this water source coming from?
Kiss, 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 kiss. My dogs are making babies.
Okay, there we
Okay,
go.
let's go, doggies. Come on, you baby. Come on, baby. Oh, there's my other dog. What's up? Let's go inside. What? Hi. Hi.
So much freaking sand. So much freaking water, actually. Sand's not a problem, it's the water that's a problem.
Come on, baby.
I have so much. I haven't even done a half of this place. Heck, not even a quarter. I wish there was a crafting recipe for sponges.
You go to the moon.
The moon does not exist in
Yes, it
Minecraft.
does.
You can see it in the sky,
Yes,
you
it
cannot go
does.
to it. Okay, then prove it. How do you get to the moon?
You take rockets,
Alright.
and you take elytra, and you have to go in moon time, or nighttime, and then you make a rocket ship out of, dirt, and then you put rockets as in the dispensers, and then when you press the button, it'll dispense the rockets, propelling you upward. And then once you reach the max limit your rocket goes, then you jump out, and with your rockets, other rockets, you fly with your elytra to the moon. And
Alright, I
then
would
you
like you to
go
prove it now by doing it.
Okay, let me go get some dirt. I need some stacks for this. Okay, you wanna come see the phenomenon?
Sure, give me a moment.
Okay, I just have to build it.
Because I know it's not going to work whatsoever.
What if it does?
It's not. That's a mod.
If it does, then you have to give me free pass to the farm that you're making.
Alright, deal. However, if it doesn't work, it's going to become extra.
No, that's not the deal. I don't put deal on that.
So much water. Why does it have to be so much?
Where is dispenser? Oh, there's a dispenser. Okay, I just need one.
Alright, pick up all that sand. Much better, and now to repeat the entire process again.
If you were to have a kid, what would you name your kid?
I wouldn't have a name because I am not good at coming up with names.
Okay, I'm ready for you.
Alright, where are you?
At my house.
Alright, I'm on my way as my CPU usage goes through the roof. Alright. Getting close now.
See my rocket ship?
Yep.
Just land on my balcony.
It's a good
Okay, I
view.
need you to take this dirt. Because I need you to close me in.
Alright.
Okay, we're done.
Alright, hold on. Let me get in. Let me get up. And you mean like put it on top of the trapdoor?
Yeah.
Alright.
Just need a.
Enjoyed the dirt that
Yeah.
I placed for scaffolding. Alright.
Okay, ready?
Now prove to me that you can go to the
Okay.
moon.
3, 2, 1. Rocket noise. Wait. Oh, I'm falling back down. Ah, I can't stop. Okay, I stopped. Okay.
Hello.
Get trapped. Told you.
So you went to the moon.
Yeah.
Alright, you don't get free entry because you didn't go to the moon.
Okay. I tried. Ah.
Look. I think you broke something. There.
Wait, hold on. Press it. No. Oh yeah.
There. Now nobody will ever know. Now I need more gunpowder because I'm out of rockets. I've got like 50 projects I want to work on right now. Why is my CPU usage so high? Okay, what's using the most CPU? What's using the most CPU? Disk.
X-ray.
No. Okay, OBS and Minecraft are currently using up most of my CPU. Wait, what was that I just saw?
You use OBS.
I use Stream Elements OBS. Hello. Alright.
How do you use this?
The super smelter? Well, first, you need to insert fuel. And it's free use for anybody who bought a pass, so... Alright.
So where?
Oh, there's still glass in there. So if you come up here, there's 2 chests. You've got your items chest, you've got the fuel chest. Insert your items into the top chest, insert your fuel into the bottom chest, and it'll start smelting. However, fuel is currently needed, so... if you want to use this thing, you need to give it fuel.
Okay.
But instead of me giving it fuel, I'm going to stream the digging a giant hole here. 'Cause that's fun.
How do you get out of this place?
You can't. You're trapped here forever.
Ow.
Oh, time to keep digging.
You should dig down.
I am.
Straight down.
I'm digging down very slowly as I dig out a 32 by 32 block hole.
Okay.
Not if you want to, dig straight down. Tell me, what do you find?
James.
Oh, he's here.
Finally. Finally.
Hello.
Time has come.
Oh.
Oh my. That's perfect timing, actually.
Wait, it's 8 for what? Why is the time has come for 8?
Because as soon as I stop playing,
You don't even join the game and you've already left.
I know, I don't know why.
It doesn't. It said in the chat you left the game, even though it never said you joined the game. Makes sense.
As soon as I stop playing with my friend in Secret Neighbor, Eco got mine. Oh god, where am I?
I don't know. Where are you?
Oh, I'm in the desert. Should I go home? Is the XP farm done?
Nowhere near done.
Then I go home with this newfound cow.
James, you should play Destiny. I want to show you my really OP.
Nah.
Because you suck.
I know. I need to update the game, I'm pretty sure. Well, I might as well since I'm gonna be pretty much gone tomorrow.
Giant hole in the ground. I've got another 50 blocks to go before I hit bedrock.
I don't know what Eco. Hold on. I'm gonna tell Eco to join the voice chat. He's, to ride my bicycle. Oh hey, I bet you
Hello.
Eco died. Rip. Oh, that was kind of a bad timing for him. Was he AFK the whole time? Like, was he playing with you guys?
After you left, he just went AFK for whatever reason. Or, well, actually, no. He went AFK while before you left, and you mentioned it, and then, you left, and, he's just been sitting there in the chat, apparently.
I think his internet went out. Rip. Well, it's also a perfect and bad timing. Cause then, as soon as I stopped playing with my friend, he got online, and then, what if I send my cow to this unloaded chunk into the void? Oh god, it's hanging. No. You.
Oh, don't try landing or going onto the unloaded chunk, cause you never know. It might actually get you
No,
killed.
it was just like a small little land that had nothing loaded in, and then it loaded in. Go loco. Slide. With hit the boy with the poco. Arriba. I don't know.
I'm digging more of the giant hole.
Yo, you want me to go to the pillar base to get
Pillar?
You want me to get the pillager effect? Ben?
Do you see a pillager outpost?
Yeah, the village. The one with the sand.
Oh, it's been raided.
Oh, so they won't spawn anymore?
They should, but I haven't actually seen any spawn in any of the ones that have been raided, so no idea.
Have you raided the village?
Hey, Enderman, what do you think you're doing here, huh? What do you think you're doing stealing my blocks? Where'd he go?
Go loco.
Oh, he placed down the block. Okay, he's fine. Wait.
You should have thanked him.
He's...
Yo, what do cats like? What do cats like?
Fish.
I don't have fish, and there's an cat also.
You know you can, dude. You know what happened? I got the XP farm for free because I proved to Ben that you can go to the world.
No, he
My
didn't.
moon in Minecraft.
What? Wait, what happened?
I got a free pass to the XP farm because I proved to Ben that I can go to the moon in Minecraft.
Actually, the deal was if you did go to the moon, you would get a free pass. But
I did
because you
go.
didn't actually go to the moon and you just went up into the
no,
air and came
I
falling
went
back
in the
down.
moon. I seriously went into the moon.
No, you are
Have you-
lying and you are
I'm
not
not
getting
lying.
that free
I'm not
pass.
lying. I'm not lying.
You are not getting that free pass.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
You are lying.
I'm not lying.
That's ego in a nutshell.
Eager in a nut.
No, my cow! Stop! Cactus, bad cactus. I need to feed it. I don't have wheat. Take my bread. Why did it not like bread? It's basically
Can I have a bread?
no.
Die, die.
Oh yeah. Can I have bread? No. Die, 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 die. Why not? Die, die, die.
I have so many blocks of diamond. I am so rare.
I sometimes wonder why I even invited you guys to the server.
One robot. Remember
Creek craft. I have 6 stacks of diamonds. Easy dubs.
Yeah, can we all go to group talk too? I mean free.
What?
Little cow. Can we go to group talk? How come you make group talk 173939? Blah blah blah. How
I'm
come
pretty sure it should be obvious.
SCP Secret Laboratory?
There you go.
It should just be SCP talk. I don't even think anyone's used it.
No, people don't use it, but it's still there.
Depression. Be like, what? Why does your what? That makes no sense at all. How's your
What?
axe got protection on it?
You were seeing my helmet.
Yeah, I think you like switched. I was so confused over why it had protection IV. Like, yo, kill him! Kill the masked cactus man. Oh, the masked cactus man has escaped.
Oh wait, there hasn't been any assassination.
Don't pick up his XP. Why? You picked up.
Dude,
You picked up his.
That wasn't many levels, dude. That was only one level.
Great
because
ball.
when you die, you don't get all the levels.
I know.
My cow just died, but it gave me 2 leathers, so I'm happy. That
I
means-
don't even understand why you decided to do that, so.
I tried to stop, but I didn't stop.
Slide, hit the.
Clearly.
What do you
James,
want to
that's X-ray.
write? Okay, I'll actually put an X-ray pack if you don't shut up. Watch me. I'll join the server with it for 1 second and then leave it. Watch me. Oh, I'm doing it. Look at all those diamonds. I'm mining straight to that. There's no. I'm kidding. I can't even change it. It's like theorology.
Theorology.
I'm just not going to say anything.
Bye, boopy.
James, where are you?
I don't know. Yo, Ben, can you read my username in Discord?
Okay, James Halloween moment.
If you don't say poo poo pee pee, I will murder your family.
But I just did.
Okay, Ben, I want you to check my username and say it.
Nah, I'm good.
Hold up, my passwords don't match. Hold up. Okay, I want you to read my name in Discord.
Nah, I'm good.
Ben, I honestly want to grab an AK-4. Ben, what do parrots like?
Seeds?
Cookies.
I said seeds.
Mate, do they like
Yeah, it's clear that you said seeds. We all heard you.
Yeah.
It's
Retard! Look at this.
You're retard.
They like cookies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, you're a bully. You're a big fat bully. Hashtag bully gang. Gucci gang. Ooh.
Gucci gang, 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 Gucci
I
gang.
call this dance beating my disobedient kid, and it's a Roblox character doing like putting his hand up and then down. Chicka, 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 bow, wow, 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 wow. Slad. Call the police with the popo.
Honestly, Rusty was a lot better than you people when playing Minecraft.
Who the frick is Rusty? Oh! Realize. Honestly, he was a good man.
I found a jungle temple.
Except now he's
He has the Pokemon Sylveon profile picture, and I'm pretty sure he's a furry. And I'm disappointed. I'm kidding, but seriously, he has a furry profile picture. And he DMs me with eggs, and slowly the egg explodes every day, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know if I should block him or not.
Okay, I think James.exe just stopped working, so
Can you say boy with the popo?
Boy with the police.
Policia, be like, yo, what are the first codes to like El Casa?
Look in the stream.
Oh, I see you. What's up? I see you. Yo, I'm gonna rob that temple.
You're not even near me.
Yes, I am. I'm literally. You see my arrows?
No, I don't.
How do you not? I'm literally shooting them exactly. Go to the front. Go outside of it. You even. Is that even you? I barely can see you move. Go outside of it.
I don't even see
there might be a
anything.
skeleton.
I see a pillow in a house. Wait, is that my old house? Yeah, that is my old house. And I found a cow, which just got deleted from the business. When you want to ride your bicycle, I want to ride my bicycle. Yeah, I literally see my old casa.
Exploring the jungle reminds me a lot of Terraria.
Yeah, same. Honestly, the jungle is like the best place for loot, to be honest. Like,
In Terraria, yeah.
in Terraria. Like, and Hot Crystal is 101.
Yeah.
There should be a thing that tells you how many players will be playing, and then it will know how much hot crystals to put into the world. Can you say, yo, Ben, can you say Zawadio?
No,
You're a disappointment.
I already knew that.
Dude, oh my god, I'm actually sorry. Ben, I'm
What?
sorry.
I don't know what you're sorry about.
I reminded you of you being a
Ben, I'm coming.
die! And I killed another cow.
Why do you keep killing cows?
A creeper exploded, and then I just wanted to see it. Honestly, equals like Despacito. I just ate a burrito.
Hey, you missed the spot.
Okay, well apparently I lagged right through that.
You missed.
Or you just keep putting it back.
No, I popped off, then she
Alright,
gave
oh.
me just a little la 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 la. Yo, I dare you. Hit him with your sword. Hit him with your sword. I dare you. I dare you. I'll give you an emerald.
Who are you talking to?
You.
Hey, did you see my chin yet?
What?
Look at my chin.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you're not prepared for this. Hey.
Okay, I hit him with my sword.
That was a joke about
Oh, I still hit him with my
I'm
sword.
really confused why flying in high winds, you can even hear the wind noise, doesn't put out the fire.
Oh, 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 oh. That's
When it popped off, then your girl gave me just a little bit of lockjaw. Baby so cold, she from the north, she from the Canada. She said so much, I got nothing else that I can withdraw.
I think we.
I hit my foot. Oh, papi. Gatu patu present. Gatu patu present. Halala. Hit these.
Jeez,
shit,
one layer of this thing filled my inventory.
Dab, dab with the cool clothes. Plus attitude. Plus new hand moves and dab. And dab. And dab and dab and dab. Don't have to.
Wait, is the fuel coal?
No, the fuel's lava.
Yo, Ben, I want you to go to the.
How is the fuel lava?
Ben, I
Lava
want you
buckets.
To, no, Ben, don't go in. Don't go in yet. Don't.
How is the fuel lava buckets?
Buckets of lava can be used as fuel if you in this game if you didn't know.
Why can you just use coal?
Honestly, guys, do not look up one man, two spoons.
Cause lava is a lot lot
Don't
better
look
than
up
coal.
2 girls, 1 cup. Don't.
Isn't it like one boy's in an ice cup or something like that?
Not even close.
Bobby! I died.
I wonder how many diamonds I'm going to find out of this project.
You hit me so, you hit me so far.
I thought I got scared. Boop, boop. Not me! Not me!
Hey, I'm gonna find this perfectly. Ready?
Are you throwing?
Ben failed.
Man, more like.
Hold on. Here, look,
Ben?
watch this. Boom.
Kiki. What if man was from the clue can?
I did it.
You did it because I added those blocks there.
Wait, can I have some buckets?
There are buckets in the chest, in the bottom chest.
No, they're not.
Yo, do we
There
ever
should be.
No.
I mean the very bottom chest, the collection chest.
Stop hitting me.
Yoink, yoink. Yo, don't hit me! Don't hit me! It's a joke! It's a joke! It's a joke! It's a joke!
I need blocks.
I'm escaping into the abyss.
Use the staircase over there. And then fly in with your elytra. Did you use up all your fireworks?
Maybe.
That's why I'm
Well, I
making this
used all
giant
of them
hole.
for the.
Stupid
I used
man.
all of them for the
Done.
rocket ship.
Done.
Even though it epically failed. Not even epically.
No, it worked.
Fire aspect, sharpness, sharp.
Oh, I just found a giant gravel pit.
Good for you. Okay, it's not working.
Because it doesn't have any fuel.
I'll have to press. No, I put. It's working.
Johnny B knows be like, I want to ride my bicycle.
Oh my god. It's working so fast.
Enough with the chit chatting. Who's Joe?
What is Joe?
Everybody
Good
asking
question.
who Joe is, but nobody asking who Joe was.
Everybody asks who Joe is, but nobody asks how is Joe. How Joe is.
What?
How is Joe?
How is Joe? That's like a 5-year-old talking to 5-year-olds and saying how is Joe. Just imagine 2 babies saying how is Joe. Watch your chat.
I flew right into.
Now that is an appropriate time to say watch your jet.
Watch your jet. Watch your.
Yo, watch your jet. Yo, watch your jet.
Now the question is, what made you think you should have hit me?
Piss and balls.
Dude, stop. You know he's a Christian boy, right?
I go to church, but I'm like.
You don't go to church.
Go every Sunday.
I pay up your XP.
Dude, come on! I was gonna use. Did you actually? Dude, I was gonna use that to enchant my book.
Why do you have fire? Why do you have rockets? Do you even have an elytra?
Yes, I do. I'm
No,
just.
you
That was
don't.
Iker who doesn't have one.
I was gonna add a mending to it, but somebody took my XP, and now I can't do anything.
Dude, they're strangers and villagers. Hey,
Did you actually steal my?
He did.
dude, I got like 10 levels.
God, I had like level 12, and
You had like level 2.
I didn't.
I got half a XP bar.
Look at all my stuff. It's so hot.
Your mom.
Great, and you destroyed my armor, Ben. Thanks a lot. I hate you. I'm quitting.
Yeah, Ben.
I hit you with one arrow.
I know. Why did you do that? You don't
Because you thought you could. Didn't you just hit me with your sword, didn't you? Oh, there's the hole. I was wondering where it was.
What happened to my enchantment book? Hey, what happened to my enchantment book?
I don't have it.
I have literally got blocks and
I am
everything.
going to beat you with stone. Yeah, that was me once. That was me once. That was me once. No, stop. I'm gonna die. Stop it, stupid idiot new fat kid.
Excuse me, I'm trying to mine here. This is the mega mining pit.
Pappy, no, don't do it. Stop.
You know, you forget that I have something called a
I have one
firework.
firework. Just stop.
Ben doesn't know how to aim.
No.
I just gotta mine more stuff now. Thanks a lot. There we go.
Oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. No, Ben. Stop. Why are you in the ground?
Apparently there was a block there that I mined, so... Here, you can have your leather back.
Dude, Eco would have been like... And then I would have been like, dude, I accidentally just spotted right going the...
Oh, time to keep mining.
No, Pen! Now you take my life and you take the kids now. Listen here, buddy. Why do I poop it? You may ask, why can't Ben explain why you can't say the actual poo poo pee pee, like physically?
But I have.
No, read my username again.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm gonna fart everywhere. I'm gonna break into your house and basically handle. No, you know how honestly, I'm gonna break in your house, get on Minecraft, and then I'm gonna give you, and then when I'm on your account, you're gonna drop all of the stuff for me, and it's not gonna be stealing.
The funny thing is, I'm not collecting any of your items, even though I
Ben's got a
just walked
bunch of your
in.
stuff.
Okay, my pickaxe is gone and my shovel. What
I
happened?
just picked it up.
He picked up all your stuff. I filled my inventory with stone, just so I wouldn't do that.
This is Eco. That's Eco. That was I'm doing a test run like Eco.
You forgot your paper.
Oh yeah, no, I used it all on them.
It's behind you.
Oh.
It's like you forgot your paper.
Ow! Ow!
It's like you forgot your paper.
Wait, what happened to my shovel? Dude, it's my diamond shovel. Yeah. Yo, Ben, you forgot you forgot some. Ben, you forgot some. Ben, you forgot some. Ben, you forgot. Oh, you actually found a cave?
No, this was all gravel. I'm not even joking.
You know I turn into a baby with diarrhea when I get mad. Dude, where's my shovel, Jonathan? Where's
Oh,
my
wait.
shovel?
How do I have your shovel?
Daddy, that was a joke. Ah! Jonathan, seriously, where's my
You've
shovel?
got to stop hitting people.
I'ma slap you with my pass. Hey, stop! I want.
Slap you with my meat.
I'll slap. Die. I'll slap you with.
Ben, what if I hit you with my meat?
Whee! Alright, I'm out of here.
I need all the iron
Ben,
you
don't
have.
do it! Don't do it! Ben, please! Ben, please don't.
Why
Ben, I
don't
need
you
your
eat
iron.
food for a change? Maybe it'll get your health up.
I can't, cause you're gonna kill me.
What was the point of hitting me then?
That would be equal, no offense.
Well,
Well, you
Great
gotta stop killing.
job.
You gotta stop killing me, no matter what. You gotta stop.
If you hit me, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna hit you back. And if you're on low health,
Yeah.
that means you're going to die.
You sniped him.
Did my phone really just? Why did my phone just shut down by itself? Did I really press the update now button on that?
Good job.
No, cause it kept. It kept
I need
going
all
back.
the iron you have.
I was watching.
I've
YouTube
got
on
an
what-
iron farm.
Ben. No, I want the ore because I'm trying to test out your iron thing.
You mean my super smelter?
Yeah.
It needs fuel.
I know, I have fuel.
Do you have the lava?
Yes.
Do you have enough?
Yes.
Okay, how many lava buckets?
1.
That's not enough. It's a super smelter.
many?
It requires
How many do you need? How many?
It requires, I believe, so there's 12, that's 6, so that's 60, that's 72 buckets of lava.
You broke my chest plate!
That's,
I'm quitting. That's no.
at least it's an iron chest plate with literally no enchants on it.
I put my fireworks into the thing and it just ate half of my fireworks. Also, I'm not screaming.
What?
I'm just,
What thing?
you know where you put your pass and I.
Oh, don't worry, it just goes into that chest as well, so.
Oh,
It's called a failsafe.
gimme. Give me those kids. Give me those kids.
But 1 bucket works. Everything is still lit up.
Dash.
Yes, it's because it had a bit of fuel in it already, if you didn't know.
My hands are like super sweaty.
I fully refueled it. And, well, now you are using that fuel, so.
So how do I collect the XP?
XP, you can't right now, or, well, it's very annoying to, at least. You have to go into the actual circuits, and if you destroy any of the circuits, you will get killed.
How about have a bad time? That's a better way to say it. I created a 4-diamond like thing, so now I just have to check. But there's a problem. Someone caught Ben's stupid idiot. I'm kidding. Hey, is it okay if I do ASMR?
No.
Is it okay if I do ASMR?
No.
No, I'm a professional ASMRist.
Well, too bad.
No.
I'm doing it.
Yes.
Alright, here we go. Come back to the ASMR of James the Kid. Today in this ASMR.
Why do you always just stand behind me?
Because I like rocks.
Let's see, my inventory's near full.
Shut up,
I
I
am-
want protection IV. Look.
Can I have all your stone? Because I need it for like levers and stuff.
Shit.
No, I'll use that probably for stone bricks on other projects that I'm going to be making.
Okay, well now I can't give my freaking diamond chestplate protection because of somebody wants. Why does my phone do that AT&T noise? It's honestly annoying. It's like dun dun dun.
Hi.
Hi, Bobby. Where did you come from? Where did you go?
I've still got another pickaxe left after this.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Wait, do you not have mending on it, mate?
No, I have mending on both of my pickaxes, but one of them has silk touch and the other one has fortune 3.
Is it okay if I slap you with my knee?
No.
Ben, I need blocks. Oh no! Run away! I am happy.
All right, you took the hit for him.
I took the shot.
Yeah.
You know, Ben, I was
Oh, snap.
Okay, there we go. I got the hit.
Ben, I got this. I got you. Ben, what? Ben, I love you. Ben.
You don't have efficiency 5. You won't go that quick.
Hey Ben, can I have the?
Efficiency
Ben.
4.
I am doing an assassin. Oh, wait, Ben, I'm gonna pay you an emerald to kill James.
No, please! I don't want to lose my XP.
I'm kidding.
Thank you. Hashtag.
Well, I'm still taking any orders.
Oh, I'm
If
kidding.
anybody wants to order me to kill somebody, I will kill them other than myself. And it has to be somebody who's online, so.
Thanks for the show. Okay, that was a. Papi!
Okay,
Oh God, that was such a loud echo. I
Ben.
literally floored myself.
Ben.
What?
Boom, oh,
Ben,
baby.
come back.
I need to put my items in my chest so I can empty my inventory of literally all the stuff that I have.
Welcome to my house. We are mining. I literally just went like into it like a boss. I need my.
Oh, 2 of those are mine.
No, I don't think so. One of them is, not 2.
One of them.
Yo,
Wait,
what happened?
Ben,
Yo, the sugarcane farmers-
Ben.
What?
Ben, what happened to the sugarcane? It's not producing anything. No, I saw it on live stream. I saw.
Oh, that's why. It's broken again. Hold on. I need to make a fixing mechanism for this.
What do you even have to do?
Basically, I just need to hook up a redstone wire to this redstone wire, which I just broke. So, yep.
Look at my sugarcane coming.
Oh, you're back, friend. Hello there. Hello, how are you? So, who would you like me to assassinate? Who would you like me to assassinate?
He's grabbing a sign. He's grabbing a sign.
Don't take the sign.
I
That
need
is
it.
not your sign. It looks like.
He needs it.
Oh, wrong thing.
James.
Sorry, he's not online. I can't do it. He's not online.
Yeah, I don't think James is.
Oh, okay.
Papi.
You're running on approximately 60 frames per second. Alright, that's good to know. My frames do drop sometimes.
Papo, papo, pidi, papo, papo, pidi, papo.
Stay there with the...
I'm gonna go to bed. Alright, see. I'm gonna go to bed. I think it's time I get off. Alright,
Bye.
I'm gonna go to bed now. Good night. Should I just stay in here and see how my computer reacts?
You know what? I know exactly how to do this.
You know what?
Wait, James, do you have a diamond pickaxe?
Alright, assassination request is currently underway.
What?
What did you?
I was joking. I'm gonna come back. Oh, why am I
Ah,
in the
He's
iron
doing
farm?
the...
I'm in the iron farm. Get destroyed. Do the twerk dance. Do the twerk dance. Do it.
So that's what happens. Okay. Well, I just learned something new. What? What are you questioning, friend?
You should have seen what just happened.
There's been quite a few things that's been happening, so you're gonna have to because saying what isn't going to help me much. Dude, no. I know exactly what to do. Watch. Hold on. I need more blocks.
I want to ride my bicycle. Why am I gonna die?
Hello.
Ben, please let me at least. I'm gonna die. Ooh, Ben, stop.
Assassination request complete. What was that scream?
My mom's gonna call me on my phone.
Your mom's just gonna be like, honey, are you okay?
Are
My
you
mom and dad's
dying?
gonna call me. No, stop,
Ooh.
please.
Purple glass.
Dad, Jonathan's bullet.
Alright, well, over to the mega pit of meganess.
Excuse me, Meganess isn't a word.
Too bad it is now.
Ooh, get roasted. You know, Ben.
Ooh, kill him!
Cocaine bomb. I broke it. Now you just gotta replace it with one little piece.
James,
I was joking about the two.
James.
Yeah, here. If I ever prank you guys, I'm never going to prank anything with your farms
James.
because farms are the annoying things to fix.
Okay, where was my pickaxe?
James, look up.
I can't.
Oops.
Okay, but where's my
I've got a feeling I'm going to be sent after another person soon. I'm not going to list any
already-
names, but James is probably going to hire me to kill Jonathan.
Dude, I don't. Dude, my pickaxe is gone.
Yo, drop my stuff.
No, but where's my pickaxe?
Look around. It could be in
I-
the
I
water
did.
streams.
It is. I did. I looked everywhere. I don't see my pickaxe. Ben,
That's not mine. Wait, no, this
That's
is
mine,
mine.
that's mine.
This is yours. Okay, come to the mega pit.
Ben, you're a caca head. Did you know that?
Cool, I don't care. Come to the mega pit and I'll give you your pickaxe
kill
back.
him! Oh, thank you for not taking my XP.
I took one. Ben, I'm coming for my.
Alright.
You gave me bread.
Alright.
Hello. Who is this for?
What? Just give it. No, give it to Jonathan. No, I don't want to do it because then I don't. 'Cause I'm gonna.
Oh,
I was gonna hit him
Understood.
with it. I was gonna hit him with it, but like, I think he's gonna get mad, so I think he's gonna. Ben, I was joking. Can I have my unmoved rack back? Ben.
ow!
Ben.
If he makes it to
Ben.
his...
I'm at my house.
Oh, well, he gets the emerald.
Okay, well, I don't know what my passes. Honestly, mate. Ow!
Alright.
Where are you going?
Why do you get yourself stuck? Here's your
I want
emerald.
my amp. Okay, thank
No, don't do it.
Bye, James.
Wait, but where's my pass? No, wait, no, seriously, where's my pass? Where's my pass?
This server is an absolute mess.
Stop, please. Stop. I can't run. I can't eat. It's going on the ground.
As I said, this server is an absolute mess.
I know, but where's my pass?
I don't know. Did you look around? Or wait, do I have
did.
it? No, I
know
don't.
where it is. I'm breaking in. I'm sorry, but I need to check if it's. I swear, if it's not there, I'm gonna cry. It's not. Okay, it is there. I'm. Oh no, I have two. I didn't realize.
One of them is mine.
I am happy. Yo, do you guys
I'm
have
coming
a
back
box?
to get
Do
mine.
you guys have a random chest you could put anything in?
No.
Wait, do you have a lot extra lava bucket by any chance?
No. You can grab buckets from the super smelter and then refill the super smelter if you want. but
James,
that's
I
it.
need my pass.
It's in there.
Oh my god, I can't get in.
Didn't break in.
And that's
No,
the only
I
time you're
would
allowed to
never
break
do
in.
that. I would never do that.
Yeah, that's Eker. He breaks in no matter what.
Yeah, even though you
You want to know how close he is to getting banned from my place?
Wait, is he actually close to getting banned?
Yeah, he won't be able to use the villages
Wait, James,
anymore,
you need food?
basically.
No. You killed me for the
Or
God's
the
sake
super
time.
smelter, for that matter.
God's sake time.
Yeah, God's sake time. So
I'm gonna go drown myself in my pool.
ban, ban. You made me
What?
constipated for some reason. They don't wake me up. Mix me up. I'm a sweet man. Yo, do you have an XP farm that's actually good?
Not at the current moment.
Ah,
I've been working on one, but I kind of need to get rid of all the water in it,
I love
which is
swimming.
going to take hours to do.
I love swimming.
That is when Jonathan loves to swim. Yo, are you live streaming this, Ben?
Yes, I'm streaming on Twitch,
I can
YouTube,
say
Mixer,
it,
and Discord.
I can say the sort of word that will get you banned forever. And
You
that
know,
is-
say it, and you're getting banned from many more things than just
I'm gonna say it. Nice guy. See, I told you. He said the N-word. Nice guy.
Okay.
Ben, if you beat my butt, I'm gonna beat you.
All right, I'm good.
I'm gonna beat your butt back.
Wait. No. No. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it. I want to ride it. Let me
Do
ride
you really though?
it. Yes. I want to.
Ah,
Why
Got
did
my
why do you
computer
keep
crashed.
beeping? Computer crash?
yeah.
And how are you talking with us?
Yeah, then how are you talking?
He just doesn't want to admit that he just wanted to leave.
Wait, no, now it crashed. But
That's so fake. That's so fake. That's honestly fake. You can tell. You can tell.
Yeah.
Jonathan, nice try, but you're a caca head and pee-pee head. Honestly, if I were you, I would just shut up and play the game. I was joking. I don't know why I'm like so weird. He probably faked offline. Nope, he really be offline. Forgot my toe had rat poison in it. Don't ask how. I got rat poison in my toe. Oh, he's back. He's back. Don't unmute him. Don't. I gotta tell. Okay, I was gonna tell him something. Jonathan, you're unmuted by the way.
hello,
Yes, hello.
I'm on my phone.
Nah, you're lying. And how come it says you're online?
Oh, are you freaking serious? Another gravel pit.
Honestly, gravel sucks. You can eat my.
Oh, my computer's back.
No, it isn't. Stop lying. No, that's a lie. He's like 1,000% lying. Like he's just a little baby and he just wants attention. Like to be honest, he's like the most annoyingest kid that I've ever met. Like he's always like beep beep boop boo, and I'm like, yes. That was a joke. If you haven't noticed. I need an XP farm. I need it. Whee! Whee!
Well, if you would help me empty out every single all the water from it, then we can get it up sooner.
Yeah, sure. Let's go. I just need to buy mending for my elytra. Have you heard of Fit MC of saying plug in the elytra? Do you know who Fit MC is?
No, but I don't really care, so.
How do you not know who? Ben, why do you only Ben? I want you to place a hit on on James.
Sorry, he is not online right now, so.
Okay. Well, once he gets if he gets online, I'll.
Well, I'm not going to execute that hit because, honestly, what's the point of executing a hit on somebody who, one, rarely plays, and two, is actually a good person?
Yo, do you want an egg? Do you want an egg? Do you want an
I hear skeleton. Hold on.
No, let me. I got it. I got you. I I don't. There's 2 skeletons, man. I'm at low HP. I acquire assistance.
You acquire assistance. Oh, you don't get assistance.
Okay, I see.
Beep 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 beep.
Now he's coming over. Ah! Oh god, that's a bunch of creep. That's a creep. That's a creeper. That's a poo poo pee pee man. Die. This is a creep. No. Sorry. I was trying to.
Did you just see those hearts?
Yeah, I thought you.
Oh, I accidentally fed it before it died.
I want to be my bison. Hey sister. Hey Bessie.
Creeper! You will die!
You my.
Oh.
He didn't die. He just killed himself. That's all I did.
It committed suicide, like me.
I'ma commit. Yo, is it okay if I slap you with some eggs?
No.
Okay, well, it's just eggs, and you did it to me. I didn't get it, so I am happy.
When did I slap you with eggs?
Me and Jonathan were down here and slapped you with eggs. I am slapped.
Oh yeah, is that? Are you talking about the time when I threw literally 1 egg at you guys?
Yeah. Wee. No, Ben.
You're at 100. You're at 100.
Oh,
He's at
are you
100.
actually at 100? Is he actually
No.
at 100?
No. I know I'm not at 100 because I haven't gotten any other
I
notification.
know I'm not 100. I'm sorry.
96.
So much freaking gravel.
Dude, just use like a. If you use TNT.
Don't have enough for
is
TNT.
it
I
okay
wasted
if I
all my
have some
gunpowder on rockets.
I am fat. 'Cause I am fat. I am a fat boy. I got a fat
I know.
boy.
I know.
I am a very fat boy, but
I know.
I am a
I know.
fat kid.
I know.
Alright, gravel is useful for concrete, so I'm just gonna take it all.
Oh,
We gonna walk it.
Oh. Up I go. Hello.
you know in the new Nether update they're adding what's it called?
Stop. Ow, stop.
Oh.
They're adding
Oh, he's back.
water. They're adding water that gives you wither.
Yeah,
And how do you know this?
What do you mean? How do I know this?
he's a hacker.
I'm a hacker, bro. Get with it. Get jiggy with it.
Get, name.
I've got 1
Get
cow,
jiggy.
1 llama, and 1 chicken.
I am going to be AFK for a while.
Of course you are.
'Cause I am a boy.
I know you're a boy. I want to ride my bicycle. Wee.
My chests are being filled with tons and upon tons of literally nothing useful. But will probably become useful one day in the future.
But how long are you? When are you gonna reset the server?
Nether update.
Oh,
So yeah,
When is
we've got
that?
some time. I mean, just think about it. We've done all of this stuff, and then it's just going to disappear. Thankfully not forever, though, as I do plan on uploading this server somewhere, and people can download it and play it to check out everything. Jeez, this place looks just crazy right now. Just so empty. Right, there's a hole there. Why did I even come down here? I'm done working on it for today. Alright, just taking a quick detour. Alright, detour finished. Imagine you had the power of flight, but you had to walk through any building that is in your path. So basically, you have to fly in a straight line from location A to location B. However, if there's a building in that line, you have to go through it.
Aw, sucks.
Imagine how hard it would be trying to fly through a city. It's just like, you have to land on the ground, you have to go through the building, you might have to go through a few staff areas, but
I saw this one YouTuber who did every 30 seconds a TNT spawns behind me. And it was every trail I make, it spawns 2 blocks of red this.
I've got to figure out how I can do this easily. Because draining this is way too slow. Man, if only I could be Phoenix SC and just mine the water. Being over here really makes my computer want to destroy itself. Ah, JC, you're here. Hello. How are you, friend? Just currently draining this ocean monument, well, Guardian Farm.
When you're back from the dead,
Seriously, I wish I knew a quicker way to get through this. I mean, let's see, how many... That's 7 blocks that I've cleared. 8 now, out of the, what, like 200 here?
Hello.
Hello, JC.
JC, please do the sexy noises you do.
Get ready. Get ready, Ben. It's not great. Oh, no, you better not. You better not, man.
What?
You better not.
What, mute you? Okay, I'll mute you.
No, you better not. You better not. You better not. Okay.
I am happy.
Honestly, every time you join here, you're going to bring up me muting you, and I'm not even going to bring it up because why would I mute you immediately?
I don't know. Because I do something weird.
You're always weird. I don't know how that's a reason.
That's why. So let's get my plot back up on business.
Yo, give me a Roblox. Would you rather?
Would you rather kill or would you rather kill?
Kill.
I prefer assassination.
Same thing.
Well, at one point, it's murder. At another point, it's assassination.
I had to respawn my truck for $8, and I'm stuck inside my truck now.
What are you playing, Roblox?
Yes.
No, you're playing nothing.
I don't know why it still says that. I'm
It's
stuck
because it's
inside
telling the
truck.
truth.
I'm stuck inside the truck.
Good. Stay stuck. We don't want to listen to you.
Ugh.
Oh, there it is. Last
Oh,
piece of
no.
sand.
Why am I dead?
What?
I dropped my trusty axe. There you go. Now we can kill.
My time has come.
Now I can finally kill.
I wish there was a quicker way to do this.
Yeah, it's called using buckets or sponges.
Well, I don't have enough sponges to do this.
Well,
So I'm using buckets.
go to
and
the sea
sand.
temple then.
Let's see, what am I building above?
Ben, I just
Let me
did something
see.
bad on accident.
You
So
what?
I wanted to see how much damage chicken would take if I hit it with an emerald and it died.
Huh?
That was my only chicken. Alright, person added to my hit list.
Does that include me?
No, it's my NPM server hit list.
Will you still kill me if I get to my house?
Yep. Because this isn't a hired assassination. This is just straight up
leave.
murder.
Just leave.
You know what? How about you kill me at my house? And don't if you take my XP, I have the right to kill you. Ben, I'm sorry.
Why'd you drop an anvil on a chicken?
I said I hit it with an emerald.
An emerald.
Yeah. hit it with an
Emerald. Emerald.
Shut up,
Emerald.
JC guy. Can you mute JC guy? He's a bully.
Alright, if I mute him, you get muted as well. How does that sound? Fair, fair, okay.
Fair, very fair.
There. In fact, instead, fair. There we go, that's fair.
What? Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Dylan Jonathan might as well. I don't know what Jonathan's doing, but I hear hitting in the background.
What?
Uh-huh.
He's
I
just,
was just
now he's just spamming stars in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
try to make you guys think I cuss, because if I say the F word, it will bleep it out. See, I just committed
Seriously, why does he keep posting these stars?
because I cuss. Alright, meet me at my house so you can destroy me. I am happy. I am happy. I have a dream. I have a dream one day that I will eat bread before Ben kills me. Ben! Toodaloo, are you there?
By any chance, by any chance is that holy?
What?
He's singing like a weird rap song.
Huh?
I wish this was so. I wish this would go quicker.
Ben, I'm at my house. You can come and kill me. Do-do-do, do-do-do.
I would play SCPSL, however, the
Play SCPSL.
I played it last night and actually got quite boring.
What do you mean by boring? It's the best game.
It's a great game, but if you watched the stream last night, you would see how boring it got at times. Like seriously, I've gotten more content out of a Minecraft stream than I have out of an SCPSL stream.
No, I was so close. It's because I managed to make an invisible elevator with a piece of a log, I managed to make an
What are you
elevator.
playing?
Lumber Tycoon.
Oh, nice. How good are you?
I'm using the log elevator trick, if you know what it.
I don't know what you mean, but I don't really care, so.
Oh, it's OP. It's an OP trick.
It's the B6000.
Why do I hear Mr. Beast?
I'm watching TikTok.
Oh no.
What?
Oh, too bad. Oh god. Oh my god.
Kill me? Are you gonna kill me, mate?
Sure.
Oh, get quick scoped. Whoa.
What are you playing?
Destiny 2.
Of course. I don't even know why I asked.
Oh, that was smooth. Who was putting a Humbaba song?
I don't know what I'm watching. Ben, are you gonna kill me or not?
So much water.
I just hit a collapse.
Oh.
Hmm.
I want to get the firewood.
Get the firewood. That's an
Yeah, and
easy
lumber-
task.
Yeah, but it's not. Aw, there goes my. Okay.
Dude, I've got the fire
Uh,
axe.
Come on.
I've almost got every
Oh,
axe
no,
in game.
No. Oh my god.
Dude, I've got almost every axe in the game.
Okay.
I died.
Yes, did I do it? Yes, I did it. I managed to go to the firewood.
The Shadow Realm?
Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm. Shadow Realm. Shadow Realm. There's
Dead
no
memes,
better
am I
place than
right?
the Shadow Realm.
Dead memes, am I right?
But they're not dead. They're not dead because 106 doesn't kill things.
But it kills things.
It only sends them to the Shadow Realm.
Here's the thing. 106 doesn't kill things, but it does kill things.
It doesn't kill things, but it does kill things.
Timber.
Logic. It's just like,
What in
it
the
doesn't kill
world?
things, but it also does kill things? Logic?
Yes. Ask GH. He'll say the same thing. Timber. You better not. Okay, thank God.
What
That
even is
firewood
GH
tree-
doing, or is he not streaming anymore?
He's not streaming anymore. He
Oh.
stopped. Like 5 hours ago.
I know he stops at around like 8 my time, so just about when I start to stream. Or maybe it's 9 my time. I think it's 9.
This is a funky tree. It looks like a deer.
Dude, have you gotten the end times wood?
Huh?
So that's a no.
Wait, what? I didn't hear you.
Have you gotten the end times wood?
In Lumber Tycoon 2?
Yeah.
No.
What an unlucky man.
Who just left? Oh, that was Jonathan.
He deserves it. He wasn't playing anything good.
Wait,
Although
does that mean that he went AFK?
I don't think it does because he's not in the AFK chat.
So he probably left by,
Yeah, he left by himself.
yeah. Strokes. Hey, I'm lucky to have firewood with me, aren't I?
Dude, caboose.
Caboose. Caboose.
If you don't immediately think of the correct of what I'm thinking of, then you clearly are not a gamer.
Wait, what?
You're clearly not a gamer if you don't immediately think of a show when I say that.
Caboose?
Yeah, caboose.
Caboose. You?
No. Let's see, church. Do you not recognize that name?
Church.
Sarge.
Sarge, yeah. Captain Sarge.
Do you recognize where this is from? Where these names are from at all?
No. I don't
Okay,
even know those names.
Griff.
Griffin.
Not
At
ringing
this-
any bells?
At this point, I'm just saying random stuff. Like, I just
Tucker.
said Griffin.
Ooh, you cussed.
Pucker.
Oh my gosh.
Man, are you gonna kill me or not?
I don't think we can be friends anymore. No, I'm joking, but
I don't even know anything about the world. At this point, you made me self-destruct in my own mind.
let's see if this term gets you at all. Tucker did it.
Office.
What?
Am I right?
No.
Can you say, not?
Let's see. Warthog.
Warthog. Labani.
Oh my gosh. O'Malley.
Savori?
Doc.
Dog?
Donut. I'm listing
Doge?
every character from the show.
Doge?
No, Donut.
Like USA Donuts?
No. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of something else. Texas.
Austin.
Oh my gosh.
What's the show called?
Washington. Agent
History.
Washington. Come on.
History.
Oh my. You know what? Red versus blue.
Halo?
I just named the show. Yes, it is literally like Halo. It's basically a Halo 3 things, but have you never seen Red versus Blue?
No.
You're clearly not a gamer. It is absolutely hilarious.
How come?
You need to watch it to find out.
Where can I watch it then?
YouTube. It's by Rooster Teeth Animation. Or I think it's animation. Might not be.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna be finished cutting this firewood, and I'm gonna look at it.
My favorite, the top 3 best characters of the show: Caboose, Caboose, and Caboose.
Red versus blue. Rooster Teeth animation.
There are 16 seasons.
Wait, what?
There are 16 seasons.
16 seasons.
Yes, of Red versus
let
Blue.
me see in here. About 200 episodes. Interesting. It's it only goes up to like season 10 or something.
Yeah, in there it does. It actually goes up to season 16.
Ah.
Honestly, I wasn't a fan of season 14. But hey, at least we got some background on Locust and I can't remember who else. Alright, excuse me for a moment.
There goes Sarge.
Alright. What?
So
Oh, is that the Blood Gulch blues that I hear? Yep, that was Blood Gulch Blues. What?
I was watching this TikTok and it was like not friendly like that. Chica.
oh.
I'ma make you talk like that.
Oh.
Why can't I buy a mending book?
Is it all sold
Okay,
out?
let's see.
I got a mending at Lytra, so like, yeah.
Sarge.
Did you say I'm gonna make you pump like that?
No.
Griff.
I know there was one character I forgot on the red team.
Simon.
Oh, Simmons, that's it.
Donut. Donut.
Can you say 3, 2, 1, drop it? Bounce, pop up.
It was Simmons that I
Yeah.
forgot, of course.
Ben, I
Simmons.
accidentally
Tucker.
destroyed your cow.
What?
I accidentally
Church.
I modded your cow
Tex.
with emeralds again. Ben, I'm sorry.
Caboose.
Ben, I was kidding. I didn't do that.
Shayla.
What are you saying?
Oh,
And
Sheila,
Lopez.
that's it. The crazy tank. Okay, you know what? Excuse me for a moment.
Wait. He always rage quits.
Yep.
I am joking.
Wait, JC, what season and episode are you watching?
What is?
First episode, season 1.
Oh, they already in. Oh yeah, that's why. What the?
Wait, what are you watching?
He's watching Red versus Blue.
What the heck is that?
You're not a true gamer either. It's only the funniest and best YouTube series,
I think I've heard of it.
and probably one of the longest lasting series. 16 seasons.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this.
Absolutely hilarious. Caboose is my spirit animal. What's the IP? It is a private Bedrock SMP. Sorry, friend. And after a recent attack made by one of the members. Members
oh my
are
God, it's one of
currently
Red
not
vs.
being.
Blue. It's basically Halo, and it's great.
Yeah, it's Halo, but absolutely hilarious.
I have Halo Reach, and it's honestly the best thing.
I believe it uses Halo 3 things. But yes, best show on YouTube. No doubt about that.
There goes church.
Oh, as soon
Yep.
as you said that, church popped up on my screen. Caboose.
Yes, Caboose! Greatest character of
Look at
all
Yoda,
time.
the tank.
Yeah, Sheila's a tank. Alright, carrot. Om nom nom. And you know what? That is where I have to end the stream. Because I have to. Anyways, I'm just gonna... Alright, well, I don't know if it's broken. Okay, there we go. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this stream. It was tons of fun doing it, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.